Hi students, we're going to continue lesson 2 in cursive and it's going to be the curved letters. But before we do those, let's review our loopy letters. So last week we learned E, L, H, K, B, and then F. And all of our loopy letters had a tail except the B had a bridge. And the bridge led to the next letter. So today we're going to learn the letters C, A, D, G, O, and Q. And those are your curvy letters. And the reason is because they all have curves to start instead of loops like these all had. So the letter C looks a lot like a printed C in cursive. Here we go. You curve up to the middle, down to the floor, and there's your tail. And that's it. That's a cursive C. But the trick is when you're connecting them together, you need to use this tail. So curve, there's your tail. You curve back up, leaving your pen on the paper, retrace that curve, and then come out. So let's do a few C's in a row. Okay, so go ahead and press pause and practice a few C's in a row. The next letter is A. So again, the cursive A doesn't look much different. It starts with a curve. You close up that curve and you come down to the floor and there's your tail. So the trick again is you need to make one A and then you curve into that tail and then you curve up, retrace, close it, tail. Curve up, retrace, close it, tail. Curve up, retrace, close it, tail. So press pause and practice a few A's in a row. The next letter is D. So D looks a lot like an A, only it has a stick in the back of it. So you start with that curve, go straight up to the ceiling, retrace that line, and come down to your tail. Remember, retrace means you go over the line again that you already made. So we don't want to go like that. That's not retracing, that's leaving a big gap. We don't want that. No, 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 okay? We want to make sure that we retrace that stick line. So curve, straight up to the ceiling, retrace, down. Let's do a few D's in a row. Curve, straight up to the ceiling, retrace, curve, retrace, straight up to the ceiling, retrace, curve, retrace the curve, straight up to the ceiling, retrace, one more, and go ahead and practice a few D's in a row. The next letter is G, and here is our regular printed G. So a cursive G starts with that curve, you close it up, but then you come into the basement, and then you loop out. So it starts with that curve, close it, come into the basement, and loop out. So if you want to do a few G's in a row, loop, curve, loop, curve, loop, curve. So go ahead and practice a few G's in a row. We have enough letters now to write the word cage. So C, A, G, and loop into that E, and you're all done with the word cage. All right, 2 more letters. Let's do the letter Q. Now, we're not going to spell words with Q this week because we don't have the U yet. However, we're going to learn the Q this week, the U next week, and then we can make words. So for Q, it starts with a curve. You close it. You go into the basement, but you curve backwards and out, kind of like how the F does that. So curve, close it, basement, curve backwards, and out with your tail. So if you want to do a bunch of Q's in a row, So a key part of the Q is that straight line, that straight diagonal line right here. That's kind of a key part of the Q. All right. I know it looks a little bit like a G, but remember G curls the other way, and that's the big difference between the two. All right, so practice some cues, press pause and practice. And the last letter is the letter O. I love making lowercase o in cursive. So it starts with a curve, you close it up, but then you loop into a bridge. Starts with a curve, you close it up, you loop into a bridge. If you want to do two O's in a row, you loop, that bridge curves, retrace, and loop. Okay, so do a bunch of O's. Curve, retrace, loop, curve, retrace, loop, curve, retrace, and loop. So that's a key part of the O, is it also has a bridge just like the B does. So practice a few O's and then we'll spell some words. All right, so far we learned C, A, D, G, Q, and O. So we could make the word look. Loop, loop, stay up there and leave that bridge. So look. We can make the word book, which is going to look very similar, but there's a big difference. It has a bridge. They almost look the same, don't they? So the difference between look is L has a tail and B has a bridge. Difference between look and book. All right, we can do the word good. So G, O, loop, and D. We can do the word goal. Goal. Here we go. G, O, into that A, stay up high, and then L. All right, can you think of any other words you can make with all 12 of these letters? Well, practice them and don't forget to have fun.